Good, good, good. Good morning, everyone, and welcome live to Sade's Inspiration Corner. I am so excited to have everyone here this morning. Most especially, I am excited to have my guest here with me today. Um, I do have a special guest, Dr. Kene. But before I go ahead, I always like to do one thing, and that is to welcome you, my guests, to Sade's Inspiration Corner. And I love to inspire people. So I take inspiration from everything and anything. And my mission is to inspire you to enjoy your life, to live your life, and to succeed in your life, no matter what the circumstances are. So let's dive into today's topic and let's talk career planning and advancement with Dr. Kene Ewulu. Please help me to welcome Dr. Kene Ewulu. Welcome, Dr. Kene.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Shade. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Dr. Kene and I are colleagues somehow, in a way, and I am so excited just to be sharing the platform with him. I'm going to say a little bit about him, and then I'll give him the stage for him to do all the talking. I'm just here to listen today.
Thank you,
So,
Shade.
you're welcome. Dr. D. Ken, Dr. Kennedy Ewelu has been many things: sustainable architect, project manager, C-suite member in architectural firms, professor of organizational leadership and project management, coach, certified trainer, and public speaker. Kene is currently the lead coach of KDE Leadership LLC, an executive leadership team dynamics, change management, and project management training company in Atlanta, Georgia. Dr. KD obtained his bachelor's and master's degree in architecture from the prestigious University of Nigeria in 1983 and 85, respectively. He has an MBA in management from the University of Lagos in 1990 and a doctorate in organizational leadership from Argosy University. He holds the professional certification of project management professional PMP and is a leadership in energy and environmental designs and accredited professional. And he has, during his professional tenure, held memberships with the Project Management Institute, the U.S. Green Building Council, the American Institute of Architects, and the Nigerian Institute of Architects. He is a registered architect with the Nigerian Institute of Architects. Having schooled, lived, and worked in Africa, Europe, and North America, Dr. Katie understands that it understands what it takes to thrive as a frontliner, a mid-level, and a C-suite member, spanning his over 35 years as a business and leadership professional. He brings these experiences to bear as he trains, coach, and mentors business leaders across the globe. Dr. Katie believes that leaders should inspire others, yes, initiate action, and innovate, be ready to perform tasks in real time, and be flexible enough to be all things to all people. I love that, Dr. Katie. So today, help me to welcome Dr. Kene Ewolu. And Dr. Kene, I know I just read a whole big um, bio about you, but can you
Mhm.
tell me one thing that was not on that bio that is so special to you that you can share with my audience today?
Well, I do believe that if we live a full life, it's a travesty not to leave a record of that behind when we eventually get called upstairs, okay?
Hmm.
So I took the liberty of writing books. I'm a multiple author. I've authored about 9 books over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Um, 8 of them are Christian in nature. And then, of course, the last one is a leadership book titled Big Dreams, Making It Happen for Organizations and Teams. So what
I
isn't
love
there?
it.
What isn't there on my bio is that I'm a multiple author and I do teach people how to write and author their books and have them on Amazon at no cost. That's the Shade.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Kene.
Mhm.
I'm just checking to make sure that we have everyone, connected. On If you are on Facebook, just let us know that you can hear us. Give us a thumbs up. If you're on LinkedIn, we are live streaming this on Dr. Kene Ewulu's LinkedIn page. So if you are on his page, we may not be able to see your comments. I'm going to try to log in and see if I can see your comments. So leave us a comment, and just, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop your questions on Facebook, on Instagram, and also drop your comments on our on Dr. Kene's LinkedIn page as well, so that he can answer those questions for you. So, Dr. Kene, I'm just going to roll it over to you. I know you have so much information to share with us today.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and let's roll it over.
All right. So share that screen. All right, everybody. Welcome to uh, the Career Planning and Advancement event as hosted by Sade's Inspiration Corner. It's a privilege for me to be here today and to share a little bit about some of the things that we face as professionals, whether we're interns, whether we're mid-levels, whether we're top-level management waiting to break through to C-suite, or whether we're business owners and we're just trying to retire, maybe sell up our businesses and just kind of live on residual income. Whatever your situation is, you're in the right place today. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to start by sharing my next slide, um, which is more like a content page for everything we're going to be doing today. There's a needs analysis where I'm going to be making a case, okay, for having a strategy, a plan for one's professional life, okay? And that plan leads us to me showing you a little bit of what a gap analysis looks like, an overview of a gap analysis. That's breaking down your plan into easily manageable chunks, okay, where you go from one step to the other. And then I'm going to delve into the scenarios. As I said, I have 5 scenarios for us today. We're going to be talking about directors who are wishing to move into leadership, what you have to do to move from a director level to a leadership position. We're also going to be talking about those who are switching professions from one to the other. Okay, you're somewhere, you're not happy about it, you want to start on a new profession, what you have to do to get there. Then we're going to be working on interns and young professionals who are just entry-level professionals trying to move up to mid-levels as well. We're going to talk about how you can plan your career that way. And then we're looking at the most important part are mid-levels. The majority of us belong to mid-levels, okay, who are trying to become directors and heads of departments. And it's like they have no way forward. I'm going to be giving you a roadmap for that. And then, of course, we're looking at the ones I love the most, the retiring people moving into second careers. You spent 20, 30 years in a career and you're looking at how to land your plane and taxi. We're going to be giving you a scenario on that as well. And then I'm going to have my next move where we're going to be talking about a career planning and advancement consult. So let's just go ahead and begin going forwards, okay? All right. So the first thing I want to share here is the case for a strategy. All right. Yes, I stopped sharing my screen. That's fine. The case for a strategy. And basically, I want to let you know that successful careers require long-term planning, okay? Short-term action planning. Because if you plan on the long term and you don't have short-term plans to achieve that long-term plan, that's a dream. You're just dreaming. So apart from having a long-term planning, you got to have short-term action planning. And you're going to have a roadmap, a study of past and current successful leaders. Why is that necessary? Okay? We're not reinventing the wheel. You already see where you want to be. The trick now is figure out a few people who are already there, who are already where you want to be. Because you want to go back and study their bios. You want to go back and see their their roadmap, the travel, the routes they've traveled to get there. Because you want to replicate their style. You want to see the courses they've taken, how long they spent in each level before they move on to the next and the next and the next. So you've got to have a plan, not just a plan, but have a study as to the people that have gone before you. How did they get there? How long did it take them to get there? What route did they go to go there? What setbacks did they have? What challenges and obstacles did they face? These are very important before we can even start on a career advancement journey. So in essence, in summary, just starting, we're talking about planning your work, working your plan, staying flexible, being patient, and having a learning spirit. You got to keep learning. If you want to move forward, you got to keep learning. Because no matter how knowledgeable you are, there's always somebody more knowledgeable. Okay? And that's just something a lot of us have to understand. You do not have a monopoly of knowledge. There's always room to improve. There's always room to learn. And the more you learn, the more you realize that you knew nothing before. And that's just a beautiful thing about learning. So let us begin. All right, I want to start with what I call a needs analysis. And in a needs analysis, I will talk of a gap analysis. So what is a gap analysis? A gap analysis has 6 different facets to it. You want to ask yourself, where do I want to end up? That's my long-term objective. What do I want to be at the end of 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, whatever your end result is? You got to ask yourself, what's my ultimate destination? That is imperative. Then number 2, you go to your current status. Where am I now? What are my positions? What are my qualifications? What's my annual income? Where am I now? Because before you embark on a journey, you got to say, this is my starting point. And then the next thing is, where do I want to get to? That's the number 3. What's my future phase needs? Where do I want to end up? What are those realistic positions I can have as I climb up that ladder? What's the income gradations I must have as I move up that ladder? What's my career plan? That's your future phase needs. You need to know where you want to be in 5 years, in 7 years, in 10 years, in 15 years. You got to have that plan. And then you move into the actions and commitments, number 4. That's where you have your medium-term strategies and your short-term tactics. That is, first 5 years, this is where I want to get to. These are the things I need to do to get there. Maybe it might be a certification, it might be a degree. Whatever the case, I want to go and do a course. Whatever the case might be, the fact is there's got to be something you can do in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months to get to that next level and the next level and the next level. It's a journey. A lot of us are in a hurry to get to the destination. And then what? Take your time, plan your work your plan, enjoy your life along the journey, because that's what it's all about. Let me not just get into the nitty-gritty. So once you get to actions and commitment, the next thing is priority levels. How do I prioritize these action plans I put in place? Which comes first? Which comes second? Which comes third? You don't jumble them all up. For example, if you have a bachelor's degree and you determine that, okay, I want to get a higher degree. Either you want to get a master's degree or you want to get a professional certification. You don't do 2 together. You got to ask yourself, which one comes first? Do I go ahead and get a master's degree before I pursue my professional degree? Or should I get my professional certification before I get a master's degree? That is the priority levels we're talking about. You're ranking the goals that you set for yourself. And you're scheduling those strategies and those tactics based on years. That brings me to the last thing, milestones, calendar dates. If you have all these goals and aspirations, you must have calendar dates involved. Okay, I'm going to get this done by September 2025, for example. I'm going to get this other one done by June 2027, for example, and on and on. You got to have a plan. You got to have calendar dates there. Otherwise, again, it's just a dream. All right, that's it for the gap analysis. What I want to do now, my friends, is I want to go ahead and break this down a little bit. The first scenario I'm going to be working on is a scenario I've called, you want to move from director level to leadership. I'm starting from the top. And for those of you who are mid-levels, don't worry, I'm getting to you, okay? We'll start from the top. Director level, you're trying to break to leadership. This is the biggest problem a lot of directors have. Why is it a big problem? They become technocrats. A technocrat is somebody who knows how to do their job very well. They're very, very good at what they do, but they've hit the ceiling. The ceiling is director level, and that is top management. How do I move from top management to leadership, executive leadership? Because there's a difference between management and leadership. In order to do that, you got to, first of all, describe your long-term objective. That is, your long-term objective in this situation is a C-suite member, VP, vice president, managing director, executive vice president, senior vice president, presidents, CEOs. Those are the C-suite level of leadership. That's where you want to get to. Your current status, again, we're now going through the gradation now. Your current status is that of a director, a head of department. And your educational accomplishments at this time could either be a bachelor's degree or includes a master's degree, okay? And your earning potential could be in dollars now, maybe $125,000 right up to maybe 175. You're trying to break into leadership. Okay, now that you see where you are, the next thing you're asking yourself is, where do I need to be? What's my future phased needs? Basically, it's a gradation. You're at CTO, or for the sake of this conversation, I'll call it a CXO. The X can stand for medical, manufacturing, nursing, whatever, okay? You're a chief nursing officer, for instance. You want to move to VP, you want to move from VP to chief operations officer, and on and on. That is your phased needs. And that means that there are certain career projections you must have, certain certifications you must have. It's not degrees anymore, because at this level, you've done your education. Whether it's a doctoral degree you have, a master's degree, it really doesn't matter. The bottom line now is you need to belong to certain associations within your industry. Okay? You need to have leadership positions in those. You need to become a brand name in your industry. People need to recognize your name, that you're an authority in your industry, before your leadership will bring you up to the leadership table. What are your actions and your commitment? Strategy. Basically, now you're asking yourself, what degree do I need? What certification do I need? How long will it take me to get that done? Am I going to be a presenter at different conferences? Because now you're at that level. You want to let people know in your industry you're an authority. You're somebody to be reckoned with. That is your strategy, your actions, and commitments. Now, you got to prioritize again what has to be done first, second, third, and fourth. And that brings us to your ranking based on how much is it going to cost me? How quickly do I want to achieve this? How is it relevant to my ultimate goal? All right? Say you're an accountant. You want to become a CFO, Chief Financial Officer, but that is director level. For you to move up to the next level, EVP or VP accounting or VP finance, that's a different level. That's leadership. You've got to ask yourself, what do I need to do to get there? Do I keep applying? Is the position open in my company? Or do I need to apply to a competitor? Get a letter of offer, and then come back to my leadership and say, hey, look, our competition has just given me this. Can you match it? I really love it here. I really would love to stay. But I've got this. I've got to take care of my family. So are you going to promote me to this position here, or should I accept this offer and move on? But you have to have an offer. These are strategies. You really don't want to leave. But guess what? You got to leave. Because a lot of times, people do not tell you. People are not going to ask you to come up and join them. You have to make them invite you. You got to let them know that it's either you invite me, or somebody else is going to take me away. I got a letter here. It's not a threat. I'm just asking. All right. So having done that, your milestone should be calendar dates. Most times, it takes between 2 to 3 years to move from director level to leadership level. It takes planning. It takes improving yourself. It takes being visible. All right? You've got to be visible in your industry for your people, your leadership to say, no, we can't lose this guy. We can't lose this lady. We've got to give this lady or this guy whatever it is they want to keep them. Otherwise, our competitors are going to snag them. That's what is most important going forwards. All right, let me get to the next scenario because I know that time is of the essence. I got to move fast. The next scenario is when you're switching professions or careers. I know a lot of us are interested in this. A lot of us are facing this, trying to make that decision. Should I? Should I not? Okay. Basically, you're trying to switch to a more schedule-friendly career. A lot of us have done that in life. The young mothers in our midst are going to come back into the workforce. And now it's time for the kids are now in elementary school, in secondary school, and it's time for them to get back in there into the professional. They're switching from a career at home back to a career in the field. Others are switching backwards the other way. But whatever it is you're doing, your current status, I'm going to be taking it from people who are looking to downgrade. All right, you want to be in charge. You want to be in control of your career. All right, you want to be in control of your schedule. So I'm talking about mostly senior vice presidents, executive vice presidents, COOs, CEOs, managing directors. What you want to do? You want to still earn the same amount of money, but you don't want to do so much work anymore. All right? Basically, you are moving into the phase that is called semi-retired. It's a self-defined pace you're looking for. The money is not the issue anymore. It's the more of your lifestyle. You want to spend some more time with the grandkids. Okay? You want to spend some more time with your adult kids. You want to, basically, you're still working, but you want to control your schedule. Again, the action to take here is groom your successor. If you don't have somebody you've groomed to take over from you, you can't leave your current position because you're going to leave chaos, a vacuum there. So it's important in the medium term, if you're planning to switch professions and begin to let go of some of this schedule crazy stuff that you do, then you got to groom who will take over from you. That's the first step. The second step is got to give notice. Let your people know that in a year or two, I will be leaving. In a year or two, I'm going to move up to a higher level, okay, where I'm no longer the one in charge of everything. I need other people to step up. You got to give notice so people know that this is for real. The boss is about to divest himself or herself of all these activities that they are leading with. Okay? Now, if you're starting a new career, you're moving on to something new, you might want to start putting together that new business or that new direction you're heading to while you're still here. Okay? You don't want to leave something you have and begin to start something new. You start something new at the same time. So as you're letting go of this, you're starting off on the other. That's the way it works. You're shifting from what you got now to where you want to be. So what did I say now? Groom your successor, give notice, and then start your new career while you are grooming your successor. That's in the short term. And what are the priorities? Priorities is you start your new career, you groom your successor, you give notice. Number one, you start a new career. Number two, you groom your successor. Then number three, you give notice. Your new career must be booming, must be growing before you let go of your old career. All right? It's only common sense. All right, good. Milestones, 2 calendar years, 2 years. For most people I've talked to, most people I've handled, it takes about 2 years to divest yourself of a very demanding career and move into a self-defined pace. That's what it takes. Scenario number 3. I hope we're getting all this. I'll do a recap. Scenario number 3, interns and early stage professionals. Those who are just coming into, you've got a degree, you're coming into a new job, you've come in, you're the newbie, you don't know how things work, and you're asking yourself, how do I climb up the ladder here? I'm new, I don't understand. So your long-term objective here is mid-level management. That's your goal, which is about 5 years ahead. Okay, you're new. You're just coming in, entry level. So your long-term objective is mid-level management. That's your long-term. So, having said that, your current status is you're an intern. You are an intern. You got college degree, maybe community college, a 2-year degree, or you don't have any at all. It doesn't matter. Or maybe a bachelor's degree. All right, that's your current status. You're earning $70,000, $75,000 or less a year. You're just coming into the industry. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. What are your future needs? You want to become a subject matter expert. You want to move from being an intern to an SME, a project lead, all right? And that's a mid-level management position. And that means you want to move from earning less than $70,000 a year to about 100K a year. And what's your ultimate goal? Your ultimate goals include making top management in a certain number of years or making leadership in another certain number of years. Those are long-term plans. There's nothing wrong with dreaming big. After all, I wrote a book about that. Dream big dreams, okay? Nothing wrong with that. But you've got to come back now, put your nose to the grind, and then plan your work in achievable little chunks, and then take it step by step by step. So what are your priority levels here? You've got to have a higher degree. You've got to have certifications before you begin to volunteer in your trade journals and in your career, in your specialty courses, to volunteer as a subject matter expert. What did I say here? You have a higher degree, then you get your professional certifications. Okay, for instance, I got a BS and an MS degree in architecture before I became a registered architect. Okay, I ran projects before I became a certified project manager. As I got certifications, I moved from having a CAPM to having a PMP certification. There has to be a gradation. Rome was not built in a day. You can't do it all at once. Just have your plan and then work your plan. Finally, there are milestones for interns moving to early stage professionals. There are milestones. And again, that will take you about 2 years, 1 year or 2 years, getting your academic and professional goals. My fourth scenario is mid-levels. Mid-levels wishing to become directors and heads of departments. Nearly about 70%, 75% of people are in this category. Mid-level people, you've been in a job or you've been working for about 10 years and you're trying to get to the leadership positions. That's what we're going to be talking about now. And again, the gap analysis includes asking yourself, what's my long-term objective? In this case, I want to make director in 10 years, in 15 years, in 12 years, in 7 years, whatever the year is. It can be aggressive, it can be laid back, it really doesn't matter. It all depends on the type of person you are. Your long-term objective is that of a director. What's your current status? You're a team lead. Remember, you're a mid-level. You're a team lead, you're a project lead, you have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, you're earning between $70K and $125,000 a year. That's what mid-levels earn, but you want to hit director level. And what is that? Your future phase needs will be CTO or CXO, which is Chief Technical Officer, Chief Medical Officer, Chief XO, whatever that is. And you're looking for more visibility. Remember, if you're trying to be a director, the people in leadership have to know you exist. They have to know you. They have to be privy to the kind of work that you do. That's why, do you clock in early and clock out late? People who want to move to director work longer hours. The higher you go, the more difficult it becomes. Some of us who my tour of duty is from 8 p.m. to 4 p.m. I clock in at 8 a.m. I clock out at 4 p.m. I go home. You're not ready to be director. Directors come in an hour early and they leave an hour or two late. It is what it is. So you have to make up your mind, is this what I want to do? So those who are saying, well, I'm just being paid for 8 hours, I come and do my work, you're not ready for leadership. Because if you are, you're ready to put in that time. That's what makes you more visible. Do you know when the bosses work? The bosses work before work starts in the morning and after work ends in the day. That's when the bosses work. If they can see that your email, you're showing green 30 minutes before work starts, that means you're at work 30 minutes early, already working. When people close at 4 or 4:30 or 5, 30 minutes later, they see that you're still green, you're still in the office getting some stuff done. Aha, there is visibility. Now we're talking. They now understand, okay, this person is putting in the work. This person is committed to what's happening in this organization. So when you're talking about promotions, they are beginning to look at you. Oh, this person has got a master's degree. He's trying to get this certification done. And he's always there early. He's always there a bit late. This person is committed. It is time we'll reward this person. That's what you have to understand. You are visible. People can see you. The fact that they don't talk to you or call you doesn't mean that they can't see you. They know what they're looking for. They have ways of tracking you, your performance, your involvement, how many hours you put in there. They know. You have to put in the time. So what are your actions and your commitment? All right. As I said, you got to get some professional certifications. Mid-levels, trying to be directors. That's when you become, oh, do you have your CPA, which is your accounting degree or accounting professional degree? Do you have your, what do you call home, SHR, okay, which is human resources certifications, and on and on and on. These are things that show that you are a professional. You're interested in making yourself better, positioning yourself for that higher level position within your office. The priorities, certifications. Right now, we're not discussing degrees. You already have your degrees. Now you're talking about professional certifications. That's why some of us, whether you're an architect, an engineer, you still have to get your professional engineering certification before you can get to that level. Because you can't give what you don't have. You can't teach people what you don't know. People want to respect you. The only way they respect you is when they think that you know more than they do. Then they can listen to you. If you don't think that, so professional certifications are important. Or they were not important the first 5 years you were a rookie, an intern, but now they are. You got to go out there and get them. Now, for those who want to move from mid-levels to directors, it will take you between 5 to 10 years. In some professions, 15 years. It doesn't matter. Just put one foot in front of the other, and you will get there. All right? According to Mother Teresa, she says, yesterday is gone and tomorrow is not yet here. We have only today. So let's begin. The critical point there is let us begin. If you start right now, it's early days. If you don't start, believe me, you don't get anywhere. A lot of us are looking for miracles. And the definition of a miracle is the suspension of the natural. It's a suspension of the natural to move to the supernatural. The truth is, miracles don't happen every day. There's hard work. You got to put your work in. Don't keep asking for miracles. How many people is the guy upstairs going to elevate above their peers? If he decides to elevate all of us at the same time, then there are no miracles. We're still where we are. There's no change because we've all moved up, all of us at the same time. So always remember that. Put your work in. The rest will come. If it's 10 years, invest your 10 years. But make sure that every 2 years you're achieving something. Every 2 years you're better off than the last 2 years. My final category is retiring leaders who are moving to second careers. Retiring leaders who are moving to second careers. All right? And what I want to describe here is you're moving to a slower paced second career. Your current status, you're in leadership, you're a director, you're a mid-level, you have adequate qualifications, and you're just trying to move to something that doesn't take too much of your time. A lot of us are there right now. I coach for a living, but I've been architect, I've been project manager, I've been pastor, I've been, whatever the case may be, I've gone through all those things. Why? Because people have to respect you before they can take what you say. They have to understand that you've been there, you've done that, you're talking from experience. If you don't have those things, believe me, people are just going to listen to you and move on, and they're not going to do anything about it. So moving into this situation where you want to kind of slow down, your future need is that of self-directed work. You want to work when you want to work, go on vacation when you want to go on vacation, go visit your adult children when you want to. That's a slower pace. Again, what are your actions and your commitment? You want to be able to, as I said before, investigate what is out there, initiate action, and then groom your successors. Again, you're letting go of what you have or some of what you have to have a more leisurely second career. But you can't leave the vacuum where you're coming from. So you've got to begin to groom who will succeed you, because somebody's going to take over those jobs or those activities from you. It's very important that you understand that. You didn't build something to walk away from it and it falls flat on its face. You build something so it can be a going concern. It's very important. You investigate what is out there, you initiate action, and then before you leave, you give a year or two to groom those who will take over from you. That's the way it works. What's your milestone? Again, this takes you about 2 years. 2 years to transit from your high-paced, high-powered career to a lower-paced, lower-level career. Okay, second career. It doesn't have to be lower level. You can still earn what you earn because you have people who are doing the work for you, but they have more. They have the reins. Okay, they have control, and you don't have as much control anymore by choice. All right. Now that we've done that, okay, I will go into what our next steps could be. And I'd like to share my screen again over the next 3 or 4 slides. Okay. So I'm going to be asking Shadi to do that for us.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. So, thank you. So basically, what are our next steps? We'll do it for you or with you in 1 month or in 6 months. It all depends on what you want to do. And what we'll try to do here is we'll try to make it easy for people. Some of us need somebody to hold our hands as we go on this journey. Others they can do it themselves. We understand that some people are more active, action-driven, and others are more laid back. Whatever the case may be, I'm just saying here that whatever your situation is, we can do it for you. We can do it with you. So what do I have here? I want you to just take a minute here and take a screenshot of that. Okay, take a screenshot or take your phone, take a photograph of that. It's just that QR code is a brief description, just a brief description of our career planning and advancement program. All right, and I'm going to surprise you today because Shade brought me here today, and I do believe that a lot of her crowd, a lot of her audience will like something simple to work with. All right. We don't want to throw you a bunch of PowerPoints and PDFs and videos and leave you saying, so what next? No, that's not the way we work. So go ahead and take that picture. Go ahead and take that picture and make sure that you have access. The link is right there at the bottom, even though it's broken up a little bit. The link is down right there. What I can do now to make it more is I can do that just so you can see the entire thing. Okay, so basically that's the entire link you're looking at. Believe me, I had to do that so we can see the entire screen. Okay, so our next step
Kene, can we put that in the chat quickly? I'll go ahead and add it to the chat as well. Yes,
and do that. I'm going to show that again in a few more slides down the road, so they get a chance. Okay, but whoever, if you're in a hurry right now, just take a picture. All right, you're going to get a video of this later as well, so you can actually watch it and stop where you want to and look at it. So there's ample time to look at this, right? Shade is going to be on your platforms, right? Okay,
that's correct.
Okay, good. All right, so having said that, the next thing I want to do here is I want to show you 2 options. All right, the first QR code there is an option, is a 2-session gap analysis. What do I mean by that? Over a period of 1 month, we'll meet with you twice. All right, we'll meet with you twice. In fact, we'll schedule that after this meeting. I'll give you the details on that. We'll meet with you twice. The first one is a 1-hour period. The next one is another 1-hour period, twice a month, just for it. Okay, and that is what we'll call a two 1-hour one-on-one gap analysis. You get to have a one-on-one with me and our coaching team to prepare your own gap analysis for you based on where you are, where you want to be. You don't have to do it yourself. My team will sit with you and prepare it with you, ask you questions. Can we do this in 2 years? Can we do this in 18 months? Can we do this in 3 years? What's your schedule like? Do you have young kids? Do you have older kids? Do you have free time? We're going to work with you to put together a plan that works for you, a career advancement plan that works for you. Excellent. All right. And then, of course, we're going to plan it for the next 2 years. Okay, we can't give you 5 years or 10 years. All right. As you can see, this option is just $39. All right. So basically, it's a 1-month thing. You get time to work with us. Okay. And I said it's a 2-year roadmap that takes you from where you are right now to where you need to be. You're going to have the plan. All right. You're going to have a plan on a few PowerPoints, and that plan will include formulation, scheduling, and commencement of those strategies and action plans. All right? So take a screenshot here. That allows you, that QR code actually allows you to go ahead and in real time get that $39 option. Believe me, you're going to be glad you did. All right, let me move on to the next slide. I want to show you, because I want to show you exactly why this $39 option is very important. The next option I'm going to be sharing with you is the entire 6-month package. It's still the same thing, but this time my team will work with you for 6 months, put it together, and they're accountability partners. Again, that QR code takes you to that. Do you see the pricing there? All right, that pricing, I needed to put it there for you to see what you're getting for $39. It's very important, because for some of you who are here today, you're here today because Sade is doing this. All right, and I know that Sade loves to give. She's told me about that. I got to give my audience. And that's why we're here, to ensure that you receive something that is more than valuable. This is basically what you're going to be receiving for $39, but not for 6 months, for 1 month. This teaches you how to advance in your career, change careers, remove obstacles to your promotion. You're going to have 12 meetings over 6 months, okay? Talking about this gap analysis and all the things you need to do, and working with you, okay, to begin. And you have accountability partners you can talk to, say, okay, I'm experiencing this option. What course should I take? What should I make this call now or not? I'm trying to talk to my boss about promotion. I'm a bit, you have a team that can bounce ideas off of with you. You want to determine your pain points, establish your future career and financial goals. What are your needs financially? Are you moving to pay rent? Are you moving from paying rent to actually buying your own house? How much is that going to cost you? What do you need to earn to be able to make it happen? We're going to be talking to you about that. And then we're going to finalize the strategies and action plans you need to have to get you there. Rank them in order of priority. Okay, put together those action plans and be your accountability partner over a 6-month period as you go on this journey. And see there at the bottom, I said they will celebrate with you. What we're telling you is we'll have cause to celebrate with you. Okay, these are 2 options. However, I'm going back to my first option of $39 because Sade loves you guys, okay? I'm going back to my first option of $39 because what I need you to do is, the taste of the pudding is in the eating.
Yes.
The cheaper option. If you do see that you have, oh, I've got a lot more to do here, and I can promise you there's a lot more to do, you're going to get a lot of value from this cheaper option. Start with that. Get to know the KDL team first. If you still want to work with them, that's great. If you don't want to, that's great. But I can assure you that this first option is going to solve a lot of your, right now you're in a haze. You can't see any direction. We're going to give you direction. We're going to have a plan on paper to move you forwards. Okay? Again, that's what I showed you before. You don't have to take that screenshot, but if you want to, that's fine. I'll give us a second to do that. And then I'm moving to the final thing there before we close, before I hand it over to Sade. And that final thing is, once you take that $39 option, which is option number 1, okay, that qualifies you to grab your 2-session coaching with me, where we'll put together the gap analysis. Once you do that, you're going to receive an email for the sessions that have been scheduled already via Zoom. There are 2 sessions scheduled. One next Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, again by Zoom. And the other one 2 weeks after that on October the 5th, again the Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. We try to meet on Saturdays around noon because we know that all over the world, that is a reasonable time. If you're in the Americas, it's 11 a.m. If you're in California, it's 8 a.m. in the morning, and if you're in Central Africa time, it is 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So we're trying to stick to Saturday 11 a.m. Eastern because that is a more acceptable time globally for all of you. I know all of you are from different parts of the world. Okay, so these are already going on. The system has been set to automatically send you an email on how to join these 2 sessions once you pick up the $39 option. Now, those who are looking at option number 2, who want option number 2? You still get to attend these two options,
More
these two
detailed.
sessions
Mhm.
before you now go into the 6-month program. Okay? So, but whatever it is, we're really catering right now to those who can only afford the option number one, which is just $39. Okay? But for those who want our help to work with them for 6 months, you can still do that. Attend these first 2 meetings with us and then continue for the next 5 months going forwards. Ending now, I will say congratulations on making this move. All right. I'm going to keep it on
Absolutely.
this. I'm going to keep it on this screen right now. The two QR codes you see there are the QR codes for the $39 option and for the $5,000 option. All right. And of course, the link at the bottom there is where you get to the website. It explains in more detail exactly what you're getting. So I'm going to keep it here, and it's time for our Q&A, and I'm going to leave it to Shade right now to take us to that next level. So I'm open to
Oh,
questions.
wow. Wow, 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 wow. I knew Dr. Katie was a dynamic speaker, and oh my goodness, I was just going and just writing and writing and writing,
I know.
because, this is a wealth of information, especially for someone that is looking for a serious career change. You really did break it down for us. I have one question, and the question is for a person. Um, this is a question that came in before the actual show began, and the person is looking, and I think you kind of touched a little bit on the answer, but this
Mhm.
is the person is feels like they are overworked, feels like they're not being recognized, feels
Okay.
like they need to leverage what they currently have right now without actually moving careers. So for that person, what advice would you give?
Okay. Um, if you're overworked, the question I ask is, do you have direct reports? Do you have people who report to you or not? If you do, then it's time to learn to delegate. I know that a lot of us are afraid of delegation because the people that report to us are not as knowledgeable. They won't do it as well. They won't do it as quickly. They will drop the ball, all sorts of things. But let me tell you something about delegation. Practice makes perfect. If you have people to delegate with to, and they're not yet well trained, the only thing that gives you confidence to delegate is by training them. Share some of your activities with them. Hold their hand, oversee them as they do those things. It's like driving. When you first started driving, you had a driver's license, but you were shaky, right?
Hmm.
But the more you drove on the roads, okay, the more expert you became. And before you know it, you're traveling long distances. Somebody who was 6 months ago shaky on driving. Practice makes perfect. I want you to have the guts
Yes.
to delegate to people. Number two, if you are low down on the totem pole and you don't have anybody to delegate to, there's something called up delegation. All right, call your boss.
Mm.
Hey, I'm overworked. Can you help me with this? Otherwise, it's going to be late. I have this, that, that. Don't be afraid. Don't be. A lot of us are afraid of telling our bosses we're overworked because you might lose your job. Don't worry about that.
Mm.
You telling them I'm overworked right now tells them that you're sincere. You're legit. They want to hold on to you
Wow.
because you're an honest person who calls it as it is. Number two, if you're
Okay.
afraid of going to your boss, there are others on your level you can go to. There's what is called triangulation. And that is, instead of asking your colleague who is on your level to help you out because you are very, very busy, you might not have a good relationship with them, or there might be competition with them. What do? You ask your boss, your collective boss, to ask them to help you. Most people will help you if the bosses know that they're the ones helping you. It's an ego thing. Hey, look, you're having a
Mm.
problem, and now I'm here to help you. And the bosses know I'm here to help you. You triangulate to get help. You go up, you go down, and then they come across. That's a triangulation to help you. Number two, you can say, do me a favor, I owe you one. Today I need you,
Mm.
tomorrow you will definitely need me. Okay? And that is, again, it's called having a deal with someone. You don't have the clout or the authority to pass work onto them. You can only ask them. But when you ask people to say, hey, help me with this, someday I'll owe you one. Someday you're going to need me and I will be there, I promise. These are different ways for you if you're overworked. Finally, leverage technology. Okay, there's so many different software out there that can help you. Find them. I have one software I use. It's called Concept Draw Office. Now, I don't know whether some of you can get it or not, but it helps me to brainstorm and mind map and put it into a project document. It's for project managers or people who are handling projects. It allows you to be a one-man or one-woman riot squad. It allows you to do so many things just as a one-man business. Okay, it's called Concept Draw Office. You can get a free trial. I think they get a free trial for like 6 weeks. Concept Draw software. So you can go in there, just type in Concept Draw Office free trial, download it onto your system for 6 weeks, play with it, and see whether it's something you would like to buy. When you buy it, it's not renewable every year. You buy it, you own it for life. Okay? I have one. I've been renewing that every 3 or 4 years. They have a new version and what have you, but it's just a beautiful thing. And this is just one out of several hundreds of software out there. Leverage technology to make life easy for you.
Easy.
I hope that answers the question.
Yes, that was a good answer, Dr. Kene. Especially with ChatGPT and all of those new, there are ways that you can really leverage, being overwhelmed with work and trying to streamline a lot of things. Even lately, ChatGPT is the it's just AI itself is just fantastic. It makes life so easy. You're able to, analyze things quicker than you probably would in a note on your own, which is fantastic. So, Dr. Katie, we're getting close to that time where we have to say bid farewell to our audience here. But I just wanted to ask you, for that person in your presentation, you mentioned that there of course different levels and different goals that you have to set for yourself. That person that's trying to do a career change, but necessarily does not have the certifications and all of that to move forward. What do you what are some good certifications or career paths that are profitable right now that you can share with my audience?
Okay. Career paths. I always like to talk about recession-proof careers. There are 3 recession-proof careers. The medical field, okay? The IT field, and the hospitality field. Let me break it down. People will always get sick. They will always go to the hospital, clinic. So medical, nurses, physicians, doctors, pharmacists, med tech. I mean, any of those, fine. Number 2, IT. Everything is becoming increasingly information technology. All right? We can't do this broadcast without IT. That's just the way it is. So you always need IT technicians. Number 3, no matter how hard the economy is, people must eat food. That's the hospitality I'm talking about. So these 3 work. Now, unfortunately, all of us cannot all be in these 3.
Yes.
We can't. So if you're in a profession that is not in these 3 I've mentioned, you want to have a service, a product that services these 3 professions, because the money cascades down from these 3 professions. And you can, as a service personnel, guess what? Get paid. You get, when you hear about top down, that's what it is. If you're servicing an industry that will never go down, whether there's a recession or not, then your business will never go down, because there's a continuous flow of funds coming down those 3 industries. I hope that answers. If you're talking about certification, again, I hope that answers it as well. The education thing is important.
That actually answers it.
Okay. Excellent.
Well, actually, you were going to talk about certifications. So what type of certifications can you recommend for those areas that you just mentioned?
Well, the important thing here is you want to look for a mid-level certification. Whatever
Okay.
industry you're in. Okay, people are in HR. If you're in HR, you have to work for a company. Okay, they have the senior HR certifications, SHR. Those are, I think, those are the lower levels. In project management,
Yeah.
they have what's called the CAPM, the Chartered Associate of Project Management. So what you're looking for is lower level certifications in your industry. Just Google it. Just say I'm in civil engineering, for instance. What are the lower level professional certifications in my country? Because it's different for different countries. Globally, it's different. If it's globally, then it applies to all countries. Like in project management, they have global certifications. Civil engineering, architecture, they have national certifications. For instance, when I moved from Africa to the United States, I had to recertify in the United States as an architect, and on and on. So these are all things that we have to bear in mind.
Oh wow.
We have to do. You stop learning, you die. You get a certification. It's obvious that in 2 years you have to look for a higher certification. You just go on and on. Never, ever, ever stop
Oh
learning.
wow.
Never. And that's what's called
Stop
a
learning.
learning spirit.
Hmm.
Okay? Never stop learning. And you're never too old to learn. Don't say, oh, I'm 50 years old. I can't go back to school now. I know people who at 56 years old went back and did an MPH and got it. And they are furthering their professions. They're doing so well in their professions. Please don't stop learning. All right? Okay. Any other questions before Shade takes over? Shade, are there any other questions?
Awesome, Dr. Kene. You are the no, right now I don't have any other questions. I know that you have talked about your can you can still keep it up there for just a moment. I know
Oh, I
you've
see.
talked
Okay.
about your yes. You've talked about the option to connect with you. Dr. Kenneth today is offering a $39 session with him. It is a one-on-one session with him where you can connect. So guys, if you really want to further your career, you want a new path, and you want, to just start a new life. I like what he said about training your successor so you can have a much less work life. I
Yeah.
love that part. And that's
Mhm.
that's the goal of where we all want to be eventually. We
Mhm.
all want to be where we are able to not always be up there, but we can have the work still continuing even when we're not there.
Mhm.
So that's the end goal, guys. I so much want to thank Dr. Kene for your time. I know your time is precious. If you are interested, hopefully Dr. Kene will be coming back, again, where we're going to have another session. Maybe what is the next one that you might be joining us with? We're hoping to do it once a month, Dr. Kene,
Yes, once a
and
month for the next year or so. We've got
for,
about
for
12
the next
topics we
couple
want
of
to
months.
share.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got about
So we
12
want
topics
to,
we want to share. So you guys say thank you to Shade for doing that. This is all free, right? It's not as if we're
absolutely.
asking you to pay anything.
Well, not all free, because yes, the thing, what I've learned is that if something doesn't really cost you, you don't really
Yeah,
pay
yeah.
attention to it. So yes, everything that we do, like Dr. Kene was saying, it all boils down to hard work. You cannot just be wishing and a wishing or praying for a
Mhm.
miracle to happen and not do the work. And so we have to put the work in for us to be able to um
Mhm.
move ahead. So, friends, I want you to take a look one more time. And, Dr. Kene have a session coming up September 21st at 11 a.m. and October 5th at 11 a.m. These are two sessions that he will be offering on Zoom. Make sure that, how do they sign up for that, Dr. Kene?
The sign up here. That's
Okay.
the option number one. Once you sign up here on this screen that is right here, then you receive an automatic invitation to those two sessions. You don't get
Got
invited to those two sessions without signing up. Okay, and the QR code that you have there or the link you have there. So for those of you who are looking right now, go ahead and take a screenshot of this. This is the screen that you need to to attend the option 1. All right. When you attend the option 1 and you want to upgrade to option 2, then that's your, but at that time you've seen exactly what it is that we're providing for you. You see the value of what is available for you. You can take it to the next level. But this is how I want you to start. Okay.
Oh, I'm
All right.
sorry. Sorry about
That's
that. Do
fine.
you see? Okay, I apologize. I think I put something else up without. There we
That's
go.
okay. I will
Let's switch
tell
it
you
back
that.
on. Sorry. Okay, there we go. That was my next thing that was coming up. So thank you
Yes.
so much, Dr. Kene. So hopefully, all of you will take make use of that opportunity. It only comes but a little while. So
We just have a week.
how long do
We
they
just have
have
a week
to?
to get that done. Mhm.
Absolutely. So they have until, should they say Friday to sign
Yeah.
up?
Hmm.
Friday the 20th of September. Make sure you
Hmm.
sign up so that you can get in that space. You want to be in the room with Dr. Kene, and so you can advance your career. And before we go, thank you so much again, Dr. Kene, for your time today. I really appreciate it. Dr. Kene and I are, awesome. We just met recently, and every single time I sit with Dr. Kene, I always gain something new,
Thank
and
you.
one
Thank you.
other wisdom here and there. And I'm so grateful for your time today. So before I leave, I wanted to share I am starting a new series on Sade's Inspiration Corner, and this is stories of victories through intimacy with God. And of course, I have my book coming out, Journey to Spiritual Intimacy with God. That should be coming out hopefully in October. I should get it going. But then again, eventually, we want to talk about the stories that come out of prayer, and also stories that, to let you know that God does answer prayers. So we was talking about miracles, but there is miracles, and through the hard work and the tenacity and the resilience of all of these stories that you're going to hear, you can tell that God does wonders. So I look forward to you all joining me. It starts next Thursday at 7 p.m. And I'm so excited to have you here. So, Dr. Kenen, we are at the top of the hour here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I look forward to our next sessions. And
Oh,
um,
all right.
guys, sign in. If you want to put in that QR code one more time before you leave, we can do that. And then you all can reach me at Sade's Inspiration Corner on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. And also visit my website, sadesinspirationcorner.com. I love you guys, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Go ahead and put it in. I'll leave it on for a little bit, Dr.
I
Kenneth.
have. I have.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll exit from here. I'll just kind of hold on a little bit just to give them a couple of seconds to capture that information, and then I'll
Yes.
say goodbye, and I'll just be off the screen a little bit here. Thank you so much for having me. Okay, blessings and
You
all
are
to you.
You're welcome, Dr. Kenny. Thank you so
All right,
much. Thank you
bye
so
for
much,
now.
Timmy Lag. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Destiny. Thank you, Ahas. Thank you all so much for joining me on Facebook, Instagram, and also on LinkedIn. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless you.